Welcome to Listings to Leads Live, everybody. Scott Pierce here at Listings to Leads with Yi Gong.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. So we did the call last night on the Case-Shiller report and how to leverage that for your audience on social media, email, text, short form video, a lot of great stuff. And we were talking about some of the other videos, scripts that we've got, and had some really great feedback from people after that call.
Mhm.
And thought that we would do a live training on that today.
Yeah, so the goal today is to really use how to create the short form videos, but tie in to the local current events. We have coming up in May, specifically, right? Cinco de Mayo, Kentucky Derby, just to name a few. And want to be able to create lively, timely events that will really engage with your audience.
Exactly. So we got real estate related videos. We got the video from last night that we talked about relating to the Case-Shiller report. So between real estate content, local content, there's so many great scripts. We got 11 of them this week. And typically, for the last year or so, we've been doing this, maybe a couple of years now,
Mhm.
where we provide this many video scripts every single week related to real estate topics, real estate data, and your local area. So with that, get into listingstoleads.com. Go to listingstoleads.com, sign up for a free trial if you're not a client, because all of this is available for everybody as soon as you log in. If you are a client, when you land on the dashboard after you log in, click in the upper right-hand side here. It says move to section, and I'm just going to select short form video scripts.
Okay.
So the first scripts we're going to cover are going to be the local scripts that we want you to record, where we're going to leverage local areas. So tomorrow is Kentucky Derby Day.
Thank
And
God we have that calendar. I actually don't know. Now that I do.
right. So
Yeah.
here's the deal. So it's Kentucky Derby tomorrow, and there's going to be some Kentucky Derby events, some Kentucky Derby parties going on in your area tomorrow. And we're also going to be doing, what is the date today? The second or the third? The second. Okay. We got Cinco de Mayo. We're going to be talking about, may the 4th be with you. A nice fun one, right? A lot of kids are going to love that one. So the parents, right, will be something that if you got clients or people in your audience with kids, that's going to be a great one. Obviously here we got the Kentucky Derby, and then there's a few more as well that we're going to cover. So what I want you to do, and we're going to be walking through this together for all of the videos for next week. And you see here, May 3rd, that is tomorrow, Kentucky Derby Day. Here is the script. And so the idea is you're going to click send, and you're going to send it to yourself. If you're logged in on your phone, then you've got it right there. If you're using a teleprompter app, that's great. You can copy the script into your teleprompter app and start recording it. If you're just going to record it straight to TikTok or another program, you're good to go. So the idea is it uses word for word or paraphrase it. But here's the deal. I want you to find a related event or establishment. And again, we'll go through this for every single one of these videos for next week. And I want you to, if you can, either record it at that establishment or at least tag them and reference them in your video, because that way we're going to get a lot more local content. We're going to be able to leverage the audiences of these other places in your local area. So Hart's Landing Ranch, this is a beautiful, they do horse therapy. They do a lot of other things. So it's not like a ranch where people just go and ride horses. This is like a therapy thing. And so they've got a Kentucky Derby fundraiser party that
Oh,
would be absolutely fabulous to help market a little bit in conjunction with the fact that it's Kentucky Derby Day tomorrow.
right. And also you got a really good cause going, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
People
so
love
when we do the video, what I want you to make sure that you do, and don't forget this because this is absolutely key, is that you're going to put the location of the video at that establishment, and you're going to make sure that you tag them in the video. So, whether it's on YouTube or on Instagram or on TikTok, make sure that you use the location for the establishment that you're going to reference, and make sure that you tag them as well. I know we've had some clients that actually will go to and record the video at the place, and maybe even incorporate somebody from, in this case, for example, the one of the owners, right, or one of the people there, and maybe talk to them a little bit about the event that they're having in reference to their event on Kentucky Derby Day.
You know, a lot of the local realtors don't think that way. But if you do, if you're the only realtor that attends that event, guess what? You get this face to face, and there's going to be a little bit outreach for you.
Well, it's not even just about attending, which is, you definitely want to do that if you have the ability to do that.
Right?
But it's really helping provide a service to the local businesses,
Mm,
local establishments in your area. And we want as many business owners and managers and people, that work in our community to think about us and really appreciate the work that we're doing. It doesn't
that's
cost us
very
any
good
money,
call.
right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
cost us any money.
It's
Absolutely
a
free.
free advertising. Totally, totally. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is, not only are you providing, a bit of a service. I don't want to overplay this and act like, we're the best thing since sliced bread. But as we go through this and as we build up our audience, and if you got a large audience already, it's even going to be better. But even if you don't, it's going to help ingratiate yourself to these business owners, which are community members, very important people, right? Imagine they've now got a friend or they know somebody, or maybe they even are looking to buy or sell real estate. And you've been doing a couple of videos over the last number of months, and you've incorporated their place into them, for the benefit of both of you. Well, now you're going to be on the top of mind for even more people. But again, as you use the location, as you tag them in your videos, those people that are on those accounts are going to start seeing your videos more. So we're going to be able to attract more people into our audience. And here's a beautiful thing. What do you think about somebody that loves horses? All right. So they love horses. Maybe they know Hart's Landing Ranch or one of these other things that we're going to be talking about. When you incorporate that into your video,
Mhm.
you're almost identifying even tighter, even more with the people that have never heard of you before, because they're
Right.
thinking, well, Yi just did a video about the fact that it is, as we see here on the calendar, that it's Kentucky Derby Day, and she is promoting or talking about or at a place that we like, that we appreciate, that we love. Well, you get the benefit of that relationship. And so
Mhm.
that's really where this is so powerful to be able to do. And it's going to help you maybe learn more about your community as well, because I don't know too much about Hart's Landing Ranch, but now that I found it in search for this video topic, man, this looks like a great thing. It's not that far away from us. And I can click here, find out more about it. Even if I don't go to it, it's not like I have to go buy a ticket and attend this thing to do what we're going to do. I'm just going to do the video. So with that, again, what I want you to do is take this, click send, get it to yourself, or again, if you're on your phone, you can just copy that script into your teleprompter app, record it. Don't worry about being word for word. Don't worry about anything except getting a video done that you're comfortable with. So
Right.
again, use it word for word or just use it as inspiration. But
Mm.
the biggest problem that most people have is, what content should I be doing? How should I do it? And what are some of the things that I should be saying? With Listings to Leads, we've got all that done for you here. So this is a phenomenal one. Now, if you don't know how to use a teleprompter app, how to record, if you click the blue button, how to use teleprompter app, it will take you to, and this whole post is a great post to read, but that button here will take you right to this video where I walk you through how to use a teleprompter app, how to copy and paste the script into it. And again, word for word, paraphrase, use it as inspiration, but do these videos. And we got that whole calendar set for you. So let's close this one. And tomorrow's a great one, Star Wars Day. So I view the script, and we'll come back to that in 1 second. But I went online, I just searched Star Wars Days events in my area. And this is a great one. It's at the library. And check this out. I wish I would have known about this when we had kids, because look at this. They're going to be able to create their own lightsabers while supplies last. Again, imagine doing a video. Maybe you go to the library, you record it there. Maybe you go get a librarian that's going to be participating in the event. Maybe you find one of the people associated with that event at the library, and you get the script. All right, incorporate some of that script into it, but let the librarian talk a little bit. Again, that is going to get you so much social credit in your area, people are going to get to know you. They're going to start liking you. And you're going to start even getting more referrals, let alone just growing and engaging your audience.
Yeah,
Right?
and
You love
these are
libraries.
right. And these are type of audience, they have family, they have kids, they're in your group that buys homes, upgrade, downgrade. That's the
Oh yeah.
audience you want to attract. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you want to be a little bit careful about incorporating too much real estate into it. But like, for
Right.
example, maybe on this script right here at the end of it, you just say, and if you're looking for a larger home for those uh, 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 stormtroopers and what's Chewbacca's? What is it? Wookiees, right? Can kind of play with it a little bit. So if you're looking for more room for your little Star Wars people, DM or comment below and let me know if you're going to be going to this event. So again, and especially as parents, parents are so scattered. They're all over the place. They're always looking for great things to do. So if you've got something like this in your area, man,
Yeah.
get that script, get it going. And the thing I love about the scripts that we do at Listings to Leads is that they're always just a little bit, there's some information in the script that most people are not going to be knowing, or that most people will not know ahead of time. So look at it, find that information that may be the thing that, it's a little bit catchy. So if you're going to use this more as inspiration or you're going to be paraphrasing things, be sure to look in here and find that little nugget and make sure you emphasize that for sure. So that's going to be a fun script right there, right? Star Wars Day, May the 4th be with you.
That
And
is awesome. Yeah. Kids love that.
I'll tell you, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Well, thank God for, Listings to Leads marketing calendar. A lot of people wouldn't even think about this event. And it's interesting that the locals always have events going on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Which
totally
makes
interesting.
even more, like, powerful to have these script done. It's just, like,
Yes.
so easy to do, and you just tie to the local events, you're, like, having so much outreach, you can't even believe it.
Yeah, and again, the thing about libraries is people that love libraries are really passionate about libraries, right? The Friends of the Library, imagine, right? You have Friends of the Library groups, you have local groups
Book
that maybe
club.
raise money. So yeah, there's a lot of great local currency that you can get if you got something like that at your library coming up. And it may be something else that's going on in your area. Maybe it's more of an adult themed thing, but in our area, that's what we've got. So I would definitely check that for your areas. And if you've got it, it's happening on Sunday. So you got a day and a half to get that video done and get that video out there. And, that could even be a little bit of some of the stuff could even work as a little email or a text message to some of your clients. Pick and choose your battle on what you think would be appropriate. So
Right.
May 5th.
Also just easy to do.
May
Yeah.
5th, Cinco de Mayo. Make sure you record this video before you attend the Cinco de Mayo party, not afterwards or not too far along into it. So here we got May 5th, right? Day people all over the world celebrate or honor the Mexican culture. A little bit about the Battle of Puebla on May 5th, 1862. So this is one of those things, I knew there was a battle. I had no idea it was called Battle of Puebla. And it's actually a pretty minor holiday in Mexico, which is kind of funny. I would have thought Cinco de Mayo was like their July 4th, but
But
apparently
not.
it's more of a margarita thing, I think, in America, maybe. So, but it's a holiday and it's a big one in the US. So there you go. Now, this would be an easy one. I mean, my gosh, there's so many Cinco de Mayo parties, probably no matter where you're from. This one right here, the old sugar mill, if you're from the Sacramento area, this is an absolutely gorgeous location. It's a big old sugar mill plant. So it's this massive brick building. And they got little, like a bunch of wineries and different things in there. And so they're going to be having a Cinco de Mayo party May 3rd and May 4th.
Yeah, so anyone who's from the Sacramento region, make sure to post this.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a great one. Or here's the other thing, and I'm in these videos, I don't want to be going to like Fortune 500, establishments where there's really no tie to the local community. I want to try and, as much as possible, and it's not always possible, but as much as possible, make sure that we're highlighting local owned establishments, right? Think of like,
Yeah.
buy local type of thing. And that's what we want to do here because, those are the people that own the establishments. They're the ones creating vibrancy in our communities, and we're able to support them by doing these kind of videos using the Listings to Leads marketing calendar. So, and that might be the only problem with this one for us is that would be a little far to drive. But oh my gosh, that area is so beautiful down there where this is located. It's almost like in the Sacramento Delta area.
I think we've been there before one time. We did.
Yeah, I've been there before. It's a great place. I mean, it's so beautiful, and the drive down there because you're driving along these levees.
The roads, yeah, levees, yeah.
Yeah, so you're literally they have the Sacramento River on one side, they got the Central Valley on the other, and they got these big levees that separate the two, and they just go for miles. And so you're literally driving a narrow 2-lane road. You go 3 or 4 feet off, and you're going to be 12 feet down the embankment. Yeah, which is those kind of roads and a Cinco de Mayo party for me don't really mix, just because not a lot of lights either. So if you're driving those things late at night, those levee roads get a little bit dicey. But there's going to be great Cinco de Mayo parties near you, and I'm sure you'll find a local bar, restaurant, other establishment,
music event.
Yeah, exactly right. So again, we've got 3 already. Great video scripts that we're going to be able to tie in to a local establishment for the most part. And again, use location, use tags. And if you're comfortable in doing this, and if you're a little bit experienced, maybe bring in somebody from that establishment into your video to make it even more compelling. Mm-hmm. And that way they may even share it on their platform. So, if I do a nice video, for example, maybe at the Kentucky Derby Day, and I do a video with one of the people from there, maybe they'll share it to their Facebook page or their Instagram or their TikTok, giving me even more exposure. And, again, if I pull them in, maybe you ask them, hey, do you mind posting this to your socials as well? So amazing stuff right there. Next up, National Nurses Day. Huh. Now, I don't want you going and hanging out in the emergency room and clogging things up there. So I don't really have a great, you could go to a doctor's office or if you know a nurse, maybe do something with the nurse. But great. And this is really interesting. Did you know this?
No.
Nurses Day kicks off National Nurses Week, which ends on May 12th, which is Florence Nightingale's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Learning something every day.
And that's what I mean about these scripts. All of these scripts have really cool, whether it's a historical or little known thing about them. Yeah, that's going to make it even more interesting. In fact, you know what would be funny? If you had a friend that was a nurse and, say, hey, happy Nurses Day. And, they reply back and then just ask them, hey, did you know that Nurses Day is the beginning of Nurses Week, which is going to end on May 12th, Florence Nightingale's birthday. And I bet
you can also, to that, you can also do a TikTok poll. Do you know, a poll or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Most people don't.
Whose birthday? Yeah. And you could do, the poll. So you got the poll itself, which there's not a lot of room for a question, but you could add a text overlay above the poll and just say, Nurses Day ends on whose birthday?
Right.
Right. And do what would your options be? Do Florence Nightingale. I don't know, who would be, because in the poll you're going to give 2 or 3 options.
Yeah.
So don't do Florence Nightingale first. Maybe do something else. Put your own name in there.
Yeah, something.
Yeah. So National Nurses Day is an awesome one. I love that. And I tell you, anytime you have to deal with a doctor or a nurse or, somebody when you're in pain or, something is wrong and they come in and they make you feel better, we all know how we feel, right? We feel that they are gods and goddesses to us because, we're in the pain and they helped us and they comforted us and they got us better. So, when we're not in pain, we don't really think about them too much, but just think back to when the last time you were in, whether it was physical or whatever kind of pain you were in, whatever issue that you may have had. And, a nurse, come on, you go to see a doctor, right? Who do you see more, the doctor or the nurse? Usually I see the nurse more than I see the doctor. So,
I think about how they put in a little waiting room, then you go to another little waiting room. the Seinfeld episode that showed up. Uh,
Right.
yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
But
funny.
we always have a good experience when you have a good nurse. That's
Oh,
true.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, May 7th on Wednesday is National Barrier Awareness Day. And again, I mean, this is one of those things I don't really have a great location to tie into this, but it's one of those things. I recently had some major knee issues and I couldn't walk for a couple of years hardly. Went and got some stem cell therapy, made my knees a lot better. Thank God for that. But man, I tell you, I was made very, very acutely aware of issues of climbing stairs versus having a ramp, because when you can't bend your knee and put a lot of pressure on it, even walking upstairs for a little while was really hard for me. And so this is something that if you know someone that has an issue with, mobility, where getting around, how difficult it can be for people. Not every place has it set up to make it easy for them. Sometimes you just can't do it, or for whatever reason it is. But having a little bit of empathy and calling out the fact that, hey, listen, there are people in our community that maybe aren't as able to be mobile as we are, right? Getting in and out of a car for some people can be really hard. Standing for too long or walking for too long for whatever reason. So this is another great script, I think, to really show some empathy in your local area.
Mhm.
Um, and show that you're human and that you can relate and, call out some things in the community, that a lot of us don't really think about on a day-to-day basis.
Right, right. And, call out for those people who take care of them.
You know what? That's
They
absolutely
take
not.
care. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder here. So here's a script. I'm sure you know somebody, you may have a family member. The day was 1986. That's pretty recent. Yeah, that's kind of cool. To bring awareness, right? I think you're exactly right, because I'll tell you, that's one of the things I think about. Like when I see the caregivers that have to, help out at some level or another with
Yeah.
people. Now this is not cancer or leukemia or something like that. This is just National Barrier Awareness Day. But still, right? You'll see a husband or wife, and one of them's in those little scooter
Okay.
wheelchair things because they can't walk for whatever reason, and it's the other spouse or a family member that's got to put the thing down, lift it up in there. So yeah, call out those people as well, and maybe tell your audience to say thank you to the caregivers as well, or to the people that help out people with disabilities or issues with mobility. I think
Mm.
that's a great one. Thank you, E. Then you're going to see there's a little, what do you call this? Like a little scroll bar, the scroll function. And if I use it, go one right, this will be for the following days. And we got 3 more for next week. We've got National Have a Coke Day. This could be phenomenal. If you're having lunch at a local place, there's a dive sandwich shop called Roundhouse Deli, not too far from us, and a beautiful place. Beautiful. It's not a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place in the sense of it is so old school. I mean, I think the thing has been there since maybe the 1940s or 50s, probably in the same little wooden building, and it sits there by the railroad tracks. So it's this kind of industrial, weird wasteland kind of area.
Mhm.
They actually smoke the pastrami. I mean, it's amazing. They did these special fish tacos every Friday during Lent. So it's one of those really cool local places. And that would be a great video to record at a place like that for National Coke Day. So here's the script as well, right? And Coke started out as we had a hard time with this last night, didn't we? I should have learned how to pronounce it, but it was a Medicino. That's not right.
Mendocino, I think. Medicino.
Mendocino is a city in California.
Not
That's not
Mendocino. Medicino.
yeah.
Medicinal.
There you medicinal. Thank you. You got it. Medicinal. So medicinal tonic. That's why I was not having. That's why I couldn't pronounce it. I was thinking medical, but regardless. And here's something a lot of people kind of know, but not necessarily, that Coke was invented in 1886 by pharmacist
Oh,
John
yeah.
Pemberton.
Oh, I
You
did not know that fact.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Well, I didn't know it was that 1886. They
I knew
do
it
it.
was a long time ago, but you're right. I didn't know 1886 either. So
Yeah.
that's crazy. 5 cents a glass. Yeah, 200 countries. So yeah, I mean, Coke is so ubiquitous nowadays. So, and Coke, do I really want to do video about Coke by itself? That's why I would go to make sure I go to a nice local establishment so that I'm not gonna tag. Well, I could tag Coke, but I'm not gonna use Coke in my location, obviously. But I would use that lunch place or that cafe or wherever it is, right? Wherever I'm doing the video from, I would tag that so that I'm getting the script across regarding that it's National Have a Coke Day, but that I'm in an establishment that's local and, I hate to say promoting, but giving more visibility to local establishments. I guess that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
All right. Then we've got on May 9th, this is going to be a phenomenal one. I think this is a really great one. A lot of areas will have a nice, maybe it's upscale, maybe it's not, it doesn't really matter, but a nice kind of a wine or liquor store, right? And I'm not talking Bevmo, right? We all know we got Bevmo, we got, a Walmart that you could probably go to pick up this kind of stuff. But again, we want to highlight local places. And so here, Capital Cellars, right? A nice local establishment that specializes in this kind of stuff. And so I would go there. And this would be a phenomenal thing to pull in the owner or, the manager at this place and have them maybe just mention something a little bit about Moscato and, maybe a little bit about it, the history of it, or, how to enjoy it, or a little bit about the product because I tell you, most people are not going to know about this, and that's totally fine. But what are we doing? We are giving more visibility to a local business. We're able to locate it. We're able to tag it. And if we've got one of their people in it, especially a manager or an owner, that's why we like doing these at local places. Again, I would also add them as one of the contributors, right? As one of the people as part of the video. So make sure you use the @ symbol and get their handle on that social media platform so you can get it to show on their account as well. And maybe even ask them to post it to their account. Maybe you could even send them the video afterwards, just share it with them and have them upload and post it.
Imagine you're the one doing this, and most people don't even know there was a day that even existed for something like that. And the local TV station finds out, like, who's this guy doing a video? And next you know, you're going to be on TV.
Well, especially if you're doing 3 or 4 of these a week, which you really get.
Let's have this guy on, this girl on, and talk about Italian wine. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, to leverage what you just said and take that even a little bit further, when you're doing this, I don't want you thinking like a reporter per se, but have a little bit of that in your mind, right? What is a reporter? Not don't put your political or whatever viewpoints on the media, but the true nature of a reporter is curious, finding out about the topic, and just promoting it, right? Giving information out. So you don't need to take a side on the stuff. This is just great content.
Yeah, and make it fun and
Yeah,
relevant.
and make sure to smile. So make sure to smile. Make sure to talk up a little bit, because in the videos, if you have a little bit of I don't want to say sullen, but a staid or too calm, you're going to come across very, very flat in the video. So you almost want to be a little bit animated, not too much, but just make sure you carry that energy forward into your videos. And then the last one before we get into the real estate stuff will be National Golf Day. Obviously, right? Go to a golf course. You have Top Golf in a lot of areas, but again, I like going to a local golf course. Maybe even someone where you could rope in the club pro or somebody at the pro shop into the video with you. How fun would that be? Maybe you're with your people on the golf course and you record while you're actually on the golf course itself. You don't even have to be a golfer to do this. The service that you are providing, right? The value that you are providing is relating the content in the script with the local establishment. And so that you are giving great information, you're promoting a local area. And this will be the kind of thing that even when it is, August 15th, and they see this video, the fact that you're at a golf course, and especially if you were to pull in somebody with you from the golf course into the video, it's not going to matter that you were talking about National Golf Day. They're going to see the golf course in the background. They're going to see the person that you're talking to. They're just going to see you there, and they're going to learn about your local area even more. All right. So we went through, again, let's just real quickly summarize.
I think it's really good if you can post this on YouTube, your YouTube channel, or whatever, and people looking to buy in this area, when they search something, then your video pops up.
Oh yeah. Well, on
Yeah,
YouTube, if you're going to record in video, in fact, I think in the training video, I did discuss this where in some of the apps, probably all of the teleprompter apps, you can record in vertical and then just flip it to horizontal. They can kind of cut it and redo it and make it a horizontal video.
Yeah.
So that you can actually upload it to YouTube as a short, which is great. And that'll help promote your long form content if you're doing long form content. Or you could take that and you could take that vertical video, reformat it into landscape, and then upload it again for it to just show up in your video section. And sometimes for those of you, as you get into doing this even more, for those of you that are a little bit experienced, you could turn around and shoot a 5-minute video right when this one is done.
Right. Well, the reason I mentioned that, there is a client, a real estate agent who services Sacramento, Roseville area. She got a out-of-state client because they found her on her just regular 5-minute YouTube talking about a local event.
Yeah.
Or local parks or something.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm referring to all these content. You don't know people who are searching on the internet.
Well, yeah, and the beautiful thing about this stuff here is, a lot of the real estate related things we tend to do in the office a lot of times, or maybe behind a green screen.
Yeah.
This stuff right here is you are out in your local community.
Exactly.
So the people are going to be able to see, people in your community are going to see it and go, oh, you know what? I hadn't been there in a long time, or I love that place. So, let me follow Scott as well. So you're going to get a lot more followers that way, right, from the local community. But as you were saying, exactly right. So for the people that are not part of your community, that maybe are out of state or out of country or just out of that area, they're going to learn more about your local area from you doing this.
Right.
All right. So again, Kentucky Derby Day is tomorrow. That's going to be a great one. Star Wars Day on Sunday. Cinco de Mayo on Monday. Tuesday, National Nurses Day. Wednesday, May 7th is National Barrier Awareness Day. May 8th, National Have a Coke Day. May 9th, National Moscato Day. And then May 10th is National Golf Day. So all phenomenal stuff right there. Any questions on that? Let me see. Thank you for the most content. Most of my sports orientated. Well, videos. Yeah. Yeah, Marilyn, for anyone that wants to have a little bit more of a conversation around this, get into the mastermind group and let's talk about it there as well. And we can brainstorm a little bit. We can come up with some ideas for you if you need to, or, reference anything in the call that you had a question about. So yeah, get into the Facebook mastermind group for listings to leads, and we can continue the conversation there after this call is done. All right, so let's go to the real estate topics. Let's go to the marketing calendar. So we were on the dashboard. Now we'll go to the marketing calendar.
Okay. And
here are all the funnels for next week. Now on Monday morning at 9:00 Pacific, we do the training for the Monday funnel. All right, this is your deal of the week. So I want you to be thinking, when you're doing a deal of the week, it's not about just sending an email to your database. It's not just about calling up a few people. There is an entire marketing funnel. So whether it is a listing that you need to market, a listing maybe you're holding open for the next weekend, whether it's yours or borrowed, or you just need to have your deal of the week so that you're staying in front of people with new listings, or maybe it's the deal of the week for single story homes, right? For people that are downsizing, or any kind of other vertical that you're into. Join us for that. But here, when you click on that, and for listings, it's a little bit different because you'll select the listing that you want to do this for, click the green market listing button, and then down here, short form video. So this is a video. When you got your deal of the week, or the listing that you're going to promote, or the listing that you're marketing this week, use this script. It works very similar to all the other scripts that we were talking about. You will just click send. If you're on your phone, you can copy it into the teleprompter app or just read it. And that is a phenomenal script to go over with listings. The great thing about the script is down here, once we give the script about the property itself, we're going to transition. We're going to transition into, if you are a Folsom homeowner, when this home is sold, area home prices could change, or will change, right? Every time a home is sold, that's going to affect the comps for the next home that lists for sale. So obviously your sale, unless it is like literally exactly right on the median, it's going to change future home values, even if it's just a tiny bit. And so we're going to offer people an updated home value estimate. If you subscribe to our text and IVR service, we do have a text function. It's really sweet. In fact, I'll try to show it to you a little bit later in this call. And you can also say DM or comment below to take advantage of that offer, and then just close it out. So that is a script. Now, you don't have to record these on Monday. You don't have to record Cinco de Mayo on Saturday or Sunday or whatever day it is. You can pre-record these videos. Like, for example, National Golf Day, which is next week, you could record that this weekend, but publish it next weekend. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you can schedule it.
Yeah, because you're not always in the mood. You're not always able to go out and record a video for whatever reason. Maybe the weather is bad. You're not feeling well. You're too busy for whatever reason. You're just not sometimes you got to be in the mindset to do a video. So you don't have to sit there and go, oh my God, it's Monday and I got 2 videos I have to do. You can record 3 or 4 videos over the weekend so that come the week time, you don't have to get them all out or get them all done because you've already got them done. And now you're just going to publish them. Upload them as a draft, leave them as a draft in TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and then just publish it or make it public or listed on the date.
Yeah. Let's have it the meal prep mentality.
The meal prep mentality. True. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, exactly.
Sunday you do all these videos, boom, 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 done.
Yeah, or just over Friday afternoon, Saturday, Sunday when you've got time, or for example, so if you looked at the calendar and next week is the golf day, the Coke day, Nurses Day, May 4th, right? May the 4th be with you. And you just happen to be in an area where it would be a great place to record that video. Pull out the script, all right? Think it through real quickly and record the video. Don't overthink it. That's the big thing for most people is don't overthink it. All right. So on Tuesday, and again, you don't have to record these on Tuesday. You can do this whenever you want. But what you want to try to do is get all 5 of these done this week, because you can see here, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they're different funnels. They're different guides that we're offering. They're different pieces of content. Monday and Tuesday should be a different listing each week, right? Think deal of the week, your new listing of the week. Maybe it's the open house that you're doing next weekend. That would be the Monday video. The Tuesday video is going to be a sold pending if we've got one. So if I click here, and even if you didn't do, let's say you sold a property a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, whatever it was, and you didn't do the video for it, you can still do the video now. It doesn't have to be that you sold or got the listing in a contract this week. All right. It could have been something you did in the recent past as well. And so when I click on the green market listing button, again, short form video script right there. And here is the script. So again, remember I said earlier, if you're subscribed to the Listings to Leads text service, that will appear here automatically. It's really hard to give out a URL in a video, but it's obviously we'll say DM or comment below, but you can also give out the text, and that works great as well. Then we're going to humble brag a little bit about the property. So this is just a sample text, right? So especially if you got the pending and sold, check out the Zillow Zestimate. Did you sell it over the Zillow Zestimate? If so, call it out. Now, we know as agents that doesn't really matter. That's not that relevant. The Zillow Zestimate can be all over the place. But for consumers, for your audience, a lot of people look at Zillow for looking at homes, looking up their own Zestimate, and then we can even call it out. And again, if we sold it over the Zestimate, that's going to make us look amazing.
Right.
And then here we've got our 100 point home marketing plan, right? So we talk about the fact that we got the property into contract or we got it sold. Then we compare, contrast a little bit with Zillow if appropriate, or make another comparison. Talk about, how our marketing got 50,000 views for this property on and offline over the course of the 17 days that we had it listed before it sold. So, kind of humble brag and bring in some of that information. But here's the deal. Then I want you to transition into your 100 point home marketing plan. So, with Listings to Leads, you got the 100 point home marketing plan flip books, the PDFs that you can create for specific properties when you got a listing presentation. So promote it, because you want somebody asking you, who knew that there was even such a thing as a 100 point home marketing plan? Well, you've got it with Listings to Leads, and you want to share that with as many homeowners as possible. And then so here you can see now that this was a sold listing. So the script will automatically flip to, now this home is sold, you're going to want to know what your new home value is. I wonder, for anyone that's on the call, can you do this? Like, could I just pick any sold or pending listing? Right? I don't know why I couldn't.
In terms of
well, yeah, let's say there's a sold
compliance issue or whatever.
I'm sorry?
Why you ask that question? Because
I'm thinking, like, let's say next week's, not every week do we have a pending or sold listing. We hope to get to that point, obviously. But
right.
Even if an agent doesn't have a sold listing this week, or even a pending listing, they could just reference another listing, I think.
From
your broker if you need to, maybe, just because you're not marketing it, you're just letting people know that it's sold.
Right. Yeah. You would think it's very obvious, but I don't know. That's a good question.
Now, if you're going to do that where the listing is not in your account, and so there's no text code, everything else would be the same. All right. So everything else can be the same. And this is what's so beautiful about this, is it gives you so much leverage. It gives you so many reasons why to stay in front of your audience. All right, let's go back to the marketing calendar. So May 5th was your deal of the week, your active listing, the listing that you're holding open, the listing that you're going to market this week. Tuesday, sold and pending. Wednesday is a PDF guide. So every Wednesday we rotate different guides out of 80 that are available for you in Listings to Leads. And you can see here, May 7th, Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast. I click on the green marketing tools button. And if I look about halfway down, the short form video script right here. And here's the script. So we talked about listings. We will go and we'll show you the script for the Case-Shiller so that you can talk about that as well. But now, adding value, promoting education is a great way to engage with people. And I talk to clients all the time. They love the guides. Their clients love the guides. They look great. They're completely branded to you. And again, if you're not a client and you were to sign up right now, by the time you go through the 2-minute get started wizard, that's going to help make sure that you dial in your account just right. By the time you click on the PDF guide, or you click on this right here, these guides are going to be branded to you. They got all your colors. They even got your font. They got everything to be perfect for your marketing. So you don't have to worry about, well, do I need to go in and add a picture? Do I need to change colors? Do I need to add my logo? No, all of that is done for you. All you have to do is do the video. So here's the video. All right. Selling can be a stressful process when it comes to selling your home. A fast sale at the right price is what dreams are made of. Absolutely true. I can help you achieve a smooth process. DM or comment below to get the free guide, Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast, and discover the strategies top realtors employ to achieve quick sales without compromising on fabulous script. Fabulous script. Again, word for word, paraphrase, inspiration, but you've got the content, you got the idea, and you've got the guide in Listings to Leads, so that when somebody does DM or comment below, you've got the guide and get their email address, right? Get their phone number. get it over to them, engage, and follow up. But that can't happen if you don't do the video. And if you don't have the guide or the idea for it, or at least an outline that you can, again, word for word paraphrase or use as inspiration, you've got nothing.
Right.
And so this is going to help you engage so many more people.
Just make you look very trustworthy.
Yeah. Well, we did the first part on the short form video calendar on the dashboard, which is phenomenal for really tying us into a local area so that we're not always talking about real estate. That gets kind of tiring, right?
Yeah.
Real estate, real estate, real estate. So that's where, these local videos that we were talking about at the beginning of this call come into play. But now, yes, we're talking about real estate related things. And then on Thursday, the 100-point home marketing plan, click market. And if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, let us know where you're watching us from. Let us know where you're from. I always love to hear where people are coming in from. And it's a Friday afternoon, very last minute heads up on this. Again, last night we got such great feedback when we were talking about this. And, I think every week we're going to start doing a live to cover this, because these videos, again, I had a client, and I mentioned this last night, started off brand new to doing video, started using these scripts. And I love his mentality, because he was like, I just went nose down or head down, nose to the grindstone. And I just grinded doing them. Didn't really worry about, my numbers. But after 4 to 6 months, he's now getting 10 to 15 to 18,000 views per video.
That's awesome. Yeah, you know, one other tip, like you worry about how you present, how you sound on a video, you can practice with ChatGPT while you're driving.
You do that, don't you?
No, I've been working on it. I think it's awesome. Then you can get better with your tone, get better with just the overall attitude, everything. It's like, there's a robot there, just use it.
I love talking into ChatGPT, the whole voice assistant, right? There's so many ways that you can use that. So yeah, that's a great tip right there. So for the 100-point home marketing plan, right? So imagine Monday, what was on the calendar for Monday? May 4th. So that was May the 4th be with you. So you're going to have that video and maybe your deal of the week. Then Tuesday is Cinco de Mayo and whatever sold pending, whether it's yours or another one that you're going to highlight in your video for Tuesday. Wednesday, we do the PDF guide, Secrets of Selling Your Home Fast. And what was Wednesday? Nurses Day, maybe, right? So,
yeah,
just kind of think all these people, they saw your video for National Nurses Day. And then right after that, they hear you talking about your 100-point home marketing plan. Doesn't that just make you more human? Right? Doesn't that just make you seem like somebody that they want to do business with? Right? And if they saw your other videos about May the 4th be with you, about Cinco de Mayo, about National Barrier Awareness Day, right? All of this just makes you somebody that people want to do business with. Yeah,
authenticity.
There you go. Perfect. Authenticity. Hey, I pronounced that right. Awesome. So here is the script for the 100-point home marketing plan. Again, absolutely phenomenal. If you were to use this word for word, it would be amazing. But again, you can take it and paraphrase. We always want this to be in your words. So you cannot use a script and force it on yourself. It has to be something that you're comfortable with doing. So don't feel that you're somehow not good enough if you're not going word for word. All right. Don't, it has to be you. I'd rather have, and you'll get more out of a quick 20 to 30 second video that quickly paraphrases whatever the content is than kind of forcing yourself to mechanically talk through something that you're just not, those were not your words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you and I wouldn't.
Yeah. But you don't want to sound too cringy. You got to have a little bit personality. That's you.
Yes.
And as long as you paraphrase the idea, as long as you know, okay, this is what I'm trying to get the audience to remember.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. And don't worry about, oh God, I look awful. Or this, just do it. Like this guy, right? You keep building, you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
And also one more thing, right? You don't have to start recording from the beginning, right? So you like try different 20 times. you can do a little bit of video cutting. So
Oh,
maybe
right,
that's
yeah.
a
So
different topic.
yeah, and that'll be something that as you get into this a little bit further and you get more comfortable
Yeah.
using, whether it's TikTok, I think YouTube and Instagram just came out with studios as well recently,
Mhm.
where if I record let's say it's a 30-second video, 45-second video, but let's say I start the video here. I'll give you an example. So let's say I'm going to record this video here, and this is pretty common actually, even with me. So I may start off this and I may say, are you considering selling in Folsom, California, in this changing market, but you're afraid you won't get top dollar? And then what I'll do is I'll pause for a few seconds, and then I'll start back up. So I don't record. I don't stop the video. The video is still recording all this time, and then I'll take a couple of breaths, and then I'll read the next sentence.
Mm.
And I do that because sometimes when you're doing a video, you start droning and you don't even realize it. You know what I mean? And by the third sentence, you are
Yeah.
now so monotone and you don't even realize it because you're trying to do it all in one breath because you're not breathing because you're a little bit, whatever. And so as you learn how to use some of the apps on your phone, you can cut out those blank spaces or
Mm.
those,
Mm.
where you messed up or where you paused to take a breath so that the final product, right, which may have been a 2-minute video and you had, hiccups and you had a lawnmower that turned on right behind you or, something happened.
That's
You
so
you
true.
just what you do is you just stop for a second.
Mm.
Don't stop the video. Don't restart the video, right? Don't delete it and try to redo the whole thing from scratch. You just wait. Just wait a few seconds, right? Take a breath again and then just start in the next part of the script. And
Mm.
then that way, again, the script is done. You can edit out those little spots that don't make sense or where you want to just tighten it up a little bit. And the final product, even on a quick 40-second TikTok video or Instagram or YouTube, are going to look so good and you're going to absolutely love it. And Chris, bonus tip is to add the video post of a local event next for sure. Yes. You know what? Totally right, Chris. Yeah. So if you got Nextdoor and you do that video, for example, with the library, yeah, I would definitely put that on Nextdoor, right? How awesome is that? Or I'll tell you, the Kentucky Derby party that is at that ranch, I think would be something for this. Now, if you're doing Cinco de Mayo, that may not be something, that's overly appropriate unless it is unless like the owner is also local to the area where maybe that's your tie-in. So again, you don't want to start overdoing that Nextdoor where they're going to ban you. But Chris, that is so awesome. You're right. Take some of these videos that we were talking about in the beginning and drop them on Nextdoor. All right. All right. So we've got the 100-point home marketing plan.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We love it. And then the last one, right? May 9th, new construction. Another great marketing funnel. So I click market. And again, we got the ads, the Google ads, social media posts, the e-flyer for your database. Here we got, you can also do an email blast with it, but we are referencing short form video scripts. And here we go. Now, this script right here might be a little bit different for some of us. The script in general is great, right? Looking for your dream home. New construction homes might be a perfect fit for you. Imagine moving into a new home with modern design, energy efficient features, right? Go down that. One great way to edit this a little bit might be if you know of some of the offers that some new constructions are making. Maybe they got lower interest rates or design credits or different incentives that a new construction building or area is offering. Incorporate that into your video, right? People love saving money. That's why Price Reduce is so popular. They want to get value. They want to get a deal, especially in this market. So when you do the new construction, you can even reference a new construction place in your area and drop whatever maybe the incentives that they are offering.
Can I ask you a question? So, should you like present it as more of a tease, like, so they can get more information, like, there are more incentives they're offering to find out more. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Maybe
actually, great. So great point. So what I might say is, there are new constructions that are offering up to $10,000 in design credits and guaranteed lower rates at 5.5%. DM or
or
comment
rate
below
lock
to get the
for
full
90
list
days or
out.
something. Yeah,
Yeah. So maybe don't give out like
a whole
which.
list. Yeah.
Don't give out all of the incentives or everything, and don't give out the names of the developments or the
Mhm.
properties, but just tease them. Exactly right. Good point. Just tease them so that they go, man, we're looking for a home, and a $10,000 design credit or whatever it is would be really helpful. That maybe could allow us to go a little bit further with our budget. But what it is it's getting conversation started with you.
Right.
Yep. And I would also go and again, you may go and record this at one of these places. No one's going to probably know exactly where you're at. So if you're at that new development and you do the video there, I think
Mhm.
again that would be absolutely awesome. And again, as you do this more and more, sometimes maybe you tag the place, sometimes you don't. I think with what you said there, teasing it, don't give everything away, will create some great conversation. But then other times you do the video, and I'll tell you, for the new construction, you could do, 2 or 3 of these a week, right? At least 1 to 2 a week. And as you are doing more and more and more of them, then I might start sometimes tagging the development, putting my location being at that development. And the reason for that is as people are looking for that and as people are doing more research on it, and if I start coming up more and more, then that's going to help me get more new clients and engage more people. So yeah, that new construction one is another awesome one as well. So I'll tell you what, my gosh, can you believe it's already been an hour?
No.
It feels like 7 minutes.
I was joking yesterday. We should have listings, leads, telethon, marathon.
I don't know about that.
Because we have
I'm
so
not sure
many
about
topics,
that.
it's probably gonna last the whole weekend, if not more. As
Right. So listen, everybody on the call, was this a good call? Was this content good? Do you appreciate, or do you see the value that comes from this? And should we do this kind of a call every single week? Because this is so powerful. It's free. You can leverage some of the tools in Listings to Leads to do it, to make it even more powerful for you. Again, the PDF guides, in these funnels, for example, the 100 home marketing plan. You've
Mhm.
got the short form video script that we're talking about today that we want to make sure that you are doing. But this funnel will recycle. It'll come up every 4 weeks. And okay, let's try that again. So the idea is you can run an ad to a custom audience. You can do a social media post. You can do an email to your database. And these are things that we really do recommend that you do every single month. You wouldn't want to do this every week, obviously, but sharing this with your audience. All right. So, for example, I could do a Facebook ad, and this is true for all of these. So, I could do a Facebook ad to my custom audience of my leads, my website, my database. We got the social media posts. I want to make sure that I don't want people in my audience to forget about the fact that I have a 100% home marketing plan. And so, putting this out there once a month, I think, is a absolutely phenomenal schedule. We don't want to do it too much, but no one is going to remember what you were talking about a month ago. It's just the way it is. So, again, we talked about the video script, but again, we got the email. So we're going to want, completely editable, send it through Follow Up Boss, send it through Listings to Leads. But we want to make sure that our database knows that we have a 100% home marketing plan. And if we don't ever talk about it, they're not going to know it. And so they're not going to know, hey, listen, if we want to get our home sold, or we know somebody that does, Scott has a 100% home marketing plan. But if I don't ever talk about it, how is anybody going to know? So we got to
Right.
make sure that we keep, recycling this on a schedule that is not too little, but it's not too much either.
Yeah. Well, luckily, we have this already pre-designed on our marketing calendar, so we
Yeah.
can
And,
write those. And honestly, for those who are watching, you got to go just look at the calendar and start doing stuff.
yeah. And so
That
here's a
that's
print
really
flyer.
it. I mean, it's not a lot, Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to
Well,
see results, please.
yeah.
For
Whoever has an
those
open
who are
house,
new.
whoever has an open house this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
I hope you use the nearby homeowner letter to invite the neighbors to it. You'll get more seller leads doing that. If anybody needs me to show that, let me know. But what I got here is a little flyer stand, right? So this is something that I would put at my open house, and this would be a great flyer to print and put there. Another thing, you know what else I would do at my open house?
Mm.
Even if it's open house that I'm borrowing, where it's not even my listing, I
Yeah.
would print up the 100-point home marketing plan. I would literally bring that with me and leave it on the table. And if anybody starts looking through it, right, I know they're going to, that's going to be a great conversation to have with somebody. It might be a neighbor that knows somebody looking to sell. It might be a neighbor that is looking to sell themselves. But bring, it could be a print flyer for a PDF guide, because they've all got the QR codes on them.
Yeah.
And so if it's in a little acrylic stand, people can just scan the QR code. Here, let me show you. There
Bring
you go.
all your weapon to the open house.
I'm sorry.
Bring all the weapon.
Well, what I want to bring to the open house, and if you do our open house market mastery training, where we talk about all the ways that you're going to engage people. So
Mm-hmm.
open house marketing, that is for marketing the open house, getting people to it, generating buyer leads, generating, there'll be some seller leads that come in on those buyer leads. Open house mastery is going to talk about how do I conduct the open house in such a way that I'm going to engage those people even more. And
Right.
so printing up the print flyer here, setting it in a little acrylic stand like this one, and just put it somewhere in the open house. And so that way, without even having to bother people, they can just scan the QR code, go to the landing page, download the guide. And you could be talking to people about that guide or about the 100-point home marketing plan here while they're still at the open house. Because imagine you get a lead notification, right?
Mm.
Jose Campbell scanned the QR code, and I'm like, I think that's him.
You think that's Jose?
Yeah. Or I say, hey, and you may have seen him, right? So you may have even seen him do it, and he may come to you and ask you about it. Wouldn't that be phenomenal? But none of this can happen if we are not putting up the work and we're not thinking about it ahead of time, because it's not hard, right? These stands are like $10 for 10 of them, or whatever, $10 for maybe 3 or 4 of them. They're not expensive. You can go probably find one somewhere. You may have one at your office that you can grab. Print this up, right? What does this cost? 5 cents, 2 cents to print. Throw it in there, and now you've got more engagement opportunity at that open house.
It
Wow.
just real quick, making sure people do have the text IVR in the account. For some of you might not have it, so making sure you subscribe to it.
Oh, well, you know what? Let me show you. So if I go to a listing,
Yeah.
and I'm going to show you the sign writer, because the sign writer we have a sign writer that is specifically for seller leads. So let me show it to you. This is a great one. When you got a listing that goes pending, I don't do a lot of training on this one here, but when you have a listing, so let's go to my pending listing here, and I click on the green market listing button. And if I come down here to sign writers, right here, if anybody wants to, go ahead and send a text. So the text is going to go to 888-264-1910. So that's the number you're going to send the text to. And then the code that you're going to send to it, in this case, is 182141. So when you subscribe to the Listings to Leads text service, you get this as part of it. And this is something you could use in print marketing. You could use it in email marketing. You could use it in a lot of different ways. And what it will do is it'll actually trip off a conversation between you and the system. It's going to, it'll have your phone number right away, obviously. Then it's going to ask you, that you want the report. So what's the address that you want the report for? And how do you want it sent, via mail or email? And so if they say email, it's going to ask them for their email address. And then ask them for their name at some point, but you'll try it out. It's amazing. If you've got the ability, this is great for when your listing is for sale. So, coming soon, just listed, active, you got the open house. The sign writer on the left is perfect. But when that listing goes pending, My. You want to make sure, and let me see, where are all my, well, here, I got the one for open house. So you want to get the status writers like this one, but you want to get the one that says pending in contract. Put that on the top of the sign and then drop this one below. So now imagine all the neighbors, they're driving by, they see it's pending, and then they see get their home value now, and you used the nearby homeowner letter, right? You use a nearby homeowner letter, like I just talked about. If you got the open house this weekend, it's not too late. I would go door knock with this letter for your open house, invite those neighbors. This is one of the best ways to generate seller leads. Open house, just listed, pending, just sold. If you can do it twice over the course of a listing, that's awesome. If not, once is good enough most of the time. But imagine, right? I canvass the neighborhood with this letter. I either mail it, I door knock, whatever it is when it's pending. And then I've got that yard sign. So people, they're going to see the yard sign. They're going to see my ad. They're going to see the post. Maybe they get the email because they're in my database. But if not, and if so, they're going to get the nearby homeowner letter. They're going to see the yard sign. It's all about repetition of that message of adding value to these people. Yes. Marilyn says, yeah, every week would be awesome. Okay, perfect. All right. Living in Estero. Oh, who is that? Living in Estero. I recognize the picture. All right. Chris, do you have any more bonus pro tips? Because that was an awesome one. I really appreciate that. Yeah, Nextdoor, I always forget about Nextdoor. And I always tell people, when you're doing an open house, if you're not in that neighborhood, which very, very likely you're not, make sure you get the seller, the homeowner, to post your single property website link from Listings to Leads. Right. So when I go here, make sure, right, because we got the tool for the seller to share on their seller social media. You don't want to forget that. You want to make sure that that's happening. But you also want to ask the seller to drop it onto Nextdoor as well. So whether they put the whole post there or they just put a link and say, hey, we're having an open house. My realtor, Scott Pierce, is having an open house on Saturday from 1 to 4. Make sure everybody stops by. That is golden. So yeah, Chris, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. Awesome. Perfect. All right. Anything else that we should cover? I can't believe, like I said, this is the fastest hour on the internet. When you do a live, it just goes by so fast. It's crazy. So anything else we should cover for a few minutes? Oh, Jim Neal. Awesome. Yes. Perfect. Yeah, I think, Jim, you know that we lived in Sarasota for a couple of years, and my dad, in fact, we're going to Sarasota soon to see some family down there. So my dad lives there and my sister lives there. And then my mom and my brother live in Detroit. So we did the Detroit, California, Sarasota triangle. So, it's not quite like the Bermuda Triangle, but it's close.
It's a family triangle.
The family, it couldn't get any bigger. My God, sometimes I think about that. Somebody could have been overseas, I guess, but man, for being in the United States, only Maine could make it worse. So, but if you haven't been to Detroit is a great city. All right. Anything else that we should cover? If you got even if it's not related to the topic at hand, anything else that I can share or help out with before we leave, before we kick off Friday for everybody? Hope you had a great week. All right. Everybody good to go? I'm looking at my other monitor. I got to bring my other monitor over here more. I hate looking over here all the time. But all right, I think we're good. All right, Yi, anything else that you want to share?
No, I'm good. I just hope everybody learned something today and take it and go do some video scripts this weekend.
Yes, and get into the mastermind group. I'm looking at that on a pretty regular basis. I get the notifications for it. So yeah, like Jim says, you just need to do it. You just need to show up. And here's the biggest impediment to your success is you're overthinking it. You're literally just overthinking it, because if you're not comfortable doing it, you're never going to get comfortable until you just start doing it. So just take our script, paraphrase it, get the video out the door, and start watching your results, start getting better at it, and you will get better at it. And I tell you, in 4 to 6 months, you are going to, whether you double it from a great spot right now, or you just absolutely go from 0 to 10,000 in the next 4 to 6 months. It will happen. We've got the content, we got the video, we got the training for you to do it.
And you have the will.
Do it. All right, everybody. Hey, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you on Monday.
See you guys. Have an awesome weekend.